Hi there, welcome to Heart of Avocado. My name is Tapasia, and in today's video I'm going to be sharing my thoughts on 1 year in the Common Planner by Sterling Inc. I'm going to be doing a little bit of a flip through, so if that's something you're interested in, stick around. So I am a planner girly through and through, and for the past several years, I've kind of tried out every single system that's out there. I started off my planning journey with bullet journaling, and then I moved on to planners like the Hobonichi Cousin, Hobonichi Weeks. I've also tried out the Take a Note planner, and I've also tried out a bunch of different planners along the way. My ideal planner is one that has the monthly layout, the weekly layouts, and then just blank note pages. So when Sterling Inc. came out with the Common Planner, I was super excited because it was basically exactly what I wanted. So I was really happy to get my hands on this last year. So with that said, let's dive into the specifics of this planner. So starting off with the cover, this cover is a B6 plus size by Moterm. I did purchase this secondhand from Facebook Marketplace. I never buy leather brand new. I always buy it secondhand if I ever decide to get it, which is rare to begin with. Now let's dive into the inside of this planner. So starting off with these pockets on the left. Up here I have a card from Sterling Inc. that came with one of my orders. Next up, I have these beautiful 3 stickers from a local art shop. I forgot what the name was of the shop, but I will link it down in the description below. But these are so cute. Then moving down here, I have some stickers from my own art and stationery shop. I have 3 sheets of these neutral labels that I designed specifically for the Common Planner, so the sizing just fits the boxes perfectly in this planner. I have full labels, I have some half labels which I've used up entirely, and then I have these tiny dots. And then I also have a sheet of my mini boba stickers from my shop as well, which I use anytime I get some boba. Moving on to the left pocket here, this is where I kept my goals for 2023. As you can see, my goals for last year were really extensive, to say the least. I put down a lot of categories and had a lot of goals. I did accomplish more than what's highlighted here. I just didn't get around to highlighting it. But overall, I would say that I did not get a lot done from this sheet. I think I just set way too many goals for myself and it wasn't really realistic. I took all the lessons I learned from this layout and the amount of goals I wrote down to kind of streamline the process for 2024. So my 2024 goals list is really small, very focused, and I think it's just more achievable. These are all still things that I want to do. Like, I have lists of books I would like to read and textbooks I want to finish and things I want to learn on here and just mini goals here. So I still want to have this on hand so I can check things off throughout the year if I ever get to them. So that's why I am migrating this to my new planner. Next, in this same section, I have the Mayo Clinic 5K run 7-week training schedule. I really got into running around June of last year, and it's been a really fun journey. So you can kind of see where I started highlighting each day that I completed, but then as I got better at running, I came across other training plans and I kind of started doing like a mix of a bunch of different training plans. So that's still a goal this year. One of my huge goals this year is to run my first 5K. So for that reason, this is also something I'll be migrating over to my new planner. The last thing I have in here under my planner is this calendar card from the Paper Mouse. Since this was the first iteration of the planner that I bought, the cover is kind of bendy and not as strong as I would have liked. And the new covers are super thick and strong, but this one was a little bendy, so I put this card on the back to just add some stability to the cover. I didn't use most of the other pockets. They're all empty, or actually, I guess I have some stickers in here that I forgot about. Apart from that, everything is empty, so let's dive right into the planner. So right off the bat, you'll probably notice something. You'll notice that there's this washi tape on the side here. This is the Planning Time washi tape from the Coffee Monsters Co. But I think another thing you'll also notice is that this planner is quite thin. So like I mentioned before, for me the ideal planner is one with like the monthly layout and then the weekly layouts and then blank pages in the back. However, this notebook had way too many blank pages for me. I think in total it has 368 pages. So I decided to just split this notebook into two recently because I realized I wouldn't be able to finish the notebook and there were like over 150 plus pages left and I didn't want them to go to waste. So I decided to split this notebook off into two. It did take a lot of patience and careful cutting and a lot of gluing to get it figured out, but this notebook is now happily split into two. As for the other half of the notebook, I still have to create a cover for it and glue everything down, but once that's done, I will have a whole new notebook to use, and I'm probably going to use that as my journal this year. So let's dive inside my Common Planner now. Starting off with this first inside cover, I put down all of these beautiful stickers inside, and I wanted this to be kind of like something I could open up the notebook to and just feel instantly calm and happy. So this was the inside cover. On the next page here, I have the regular gaming console sticker from my shop Moonset Magic, which will be linked in the description down below, and then I have a vinyl sticker from the Coffee Monsters Co. on this side. I didn't really do much with the calendar here, so this is pretty much blank. I am going to skip the next page. Those are just like jobs I applied to. Next up was this goals breakdown page, and I made my own little layout for that, so I ended up not using this. Next, I just had these quarterly pages, which I honestly didn't do much with. Here I tried doing some mood tracking, but that didn't last long. Here I tried tracking my steps for a couple of days, tracking runs here, but nothing really lasted, so I never used this portion of the notebook too much. So next we get into the monthlies. This was December, January, February, March, April, May. This is the same washi tape that I'm using on the outside cover here. Then I had June, pretty blank. Ended up not using that much. July, August, September, October, November. November was pretty blank too. I didn't really write anything down here. And then finally I have December right here. The next page is the calendar for January, but I'm going to skip that because I'm using that as a content calendar for this month, so I'm going to keep that hidden for now. Next we delve into the weeklies. This is a section of the notebook that I would say I use the most. I kind of just ignore the timelines on the left side and I use it as a big fat to-do list instead, and everything is color-coded, which I'll get into a little bit later, and I do like to decorate the pages as well. This is where I was testing out the sizes for the neutral labels in my shop, so that's what this is. I'm going to flip through these fairly quickly because there's so many weekly pages to get through, but I'll talk about things as they come up. So my usual layout is something like this, where I just write down my tasks for the day and then I color code them based on the kind of task. But I do watch a lot of Helen on the Coffee Monsters Co channel, so sometimes I get very influenced by her layout. So you can see here that it's kind of similar to the layout that Helen uses. So I have the things highlighted on top, but as much as I like the look of this, I'm never able to recreate it in a way that I like, and this format doesn't really work too well for me. But I really liked how this page in particular turned out. I thought it was really pretty. I wrote down a lot of random things, TV shows I was watching, hobbies I was working on, books I was reading, games I was playing. So this was pretty cute in my opinion. Back to my regular layout. So here I wrote down my new key. I decided to change my key here from the previous year. So I had purple, which I was using for my Moonset Magic Shop business. Then pink was for personal, household. Green was for anything related to self-growth, habits, improvement, stuff like that. And then this beige color was for job-related things. This was the week I watched Arrietty, which was such a beautiful film. Let me know in the comments down below if you're a Studio Ghibli fan. So something that I really liked from last year's system was using gray for like anything that requires me to go outside. So I kind of brought that back and started using gray for errands again, and then I made this beige color for chores, purple for personal, pink for work, and then green for growth. There were several weeks throughout this notebook where I ended up not using this planner at all. So I tried my best to kind of use up those pages still, and I made these incredible condensed milk brownies, and I love the recipe so much. I just wanted to save it somewhere so I would always have it. I really wanted to write it down, so I wrote down the entire recipe here, where I got it from, when I baked it, and all the substitutions I made, and then the actual instructions for how to make it. So in this particular week, I kind of stopped planning after Tuesday, and that went on for a while until I got back to planning again. Then I fell off the wagon again. Here I went to the movies, decided to stick that in here. Then I got back to planning in April. Wrote down this quote here. So throughout this planner, you'll kind of see that there are several weeks where I don't plan. As much as I'd like to be the kind of person that never misses a day in my planner, that's just not me. I go through phases where I really just don't want to use my planner. Sometimes in those phases, I'm not using any planner at all. Other times, I kind of switch to digital planning instead, and I use Trello and my notes app to keep track of everything that I'm doing. There are a lot of blank pages, and it is totally okay to have blank pages in your notebook. I really liked this layout. Over here I was kind of experimenting with having a running to-do list on one side, which I honestly really enjoyed. I also like this mini habit tracker, though I didn't keep up with it, but I thought it was kind of cute. I loved this page and how it turned out. Again, anytime you see this kind of layout, you can tell that I was watching a lot of the Coffee Monsters go on YouTube. But this was pretty cute. Again, here I decided to try out that running to-do list on one side, and then I split this side into half so I would have all the days of the week here. This was an interesting week. Here I had priorities and I did some highlights. These were packages I was expecting, and then I had like a running to-do list on this side. Another running to-do list kind of layout here. This sticky note is from my shop Moonset Magic, and it's from the Dreamy Sunset Duo, which features these sticky notes as well as a matching bookmark. Here I decided to change my key again on a trial basis. I changed the colors around again. I kept purple for personal, green for self-growth, the beige color for chores, and then yellow became the color for my business, and then I made this dark blue color for job related things. So before I came up with this key, I kind of swatched every single dot marker I have, and then I came up with the key based on what I like the most. This was definitely one of my favorite layouts. I absolutely loved these stickers that I got. I think I got these from Daiso Japan, and they were so pretty. So let me just skip the next page because I was just brainstorming video ideas, so that's what's on that page. Another empty page. And then the next 2 weeks, I didn't use them as weeklies again, but I did use them for some personal notes, so I'm going to skip those 2 pages. So this brings us to the end of the weeklies. So now let's talk about the notes pages. When I first got this notebook, I thought that I would use the notes pages for exactly that, just writing down notes. But then I quickly realized that there were way too many pages and there was no way I would have enough notes to write down in the notebook, especially because for notes, I primarily do use an app on my phone that's synced across all my devices. So I didn't see myself needing the note pages as much as I thought I would. So I experimented with doing like daily pages and all sorts of things, but it didn't really work out. I experimented with like writing down budget related things or my thoughts on books and movies that I was watching, but there just wasn't enough content for me to use up all the pages, so I decided to start using it as a journal. So that's kind of what I used this entire notebook for. I'm not going to open up to the whole thing, but I was basically just using this as my journal. And as I got close to the end, I decided to split off the notebook, as I mentioned earlier in the video. And I did end up having a few pages left, but nothing that would be too alarming. And finally, on this back page, I always just use the back page of whatever notebook I'm using as a pen test page. So you can see the disaster of different pens and markers here. And nothing on the back cover. And that is pretty much it for the flip through of this notebook. Ultimately, I really liked this notebook a lot. I loved the gold on the edges. I thought they looked so elegant, and I really enjoyed the monthly pages as well as the weekly pages. I think my favorite parts about this planner were the quality of the paper, the color, and just overall it's just such a nice planner. I hope you enjoyed this video and my little flip through of my planner. There will be more planner videos coming up. I'm going to be sharing my 2024 planner lineup, what changed, how I set it up, and all of that good stuff. If you like this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up and hit the subscribe button down below, and I will see you in the next video. Bye!